Games, brains are headbanging life here with another flashback episode. We're going to the GameCube for this one. We're going to the GameCube and Star Fox Adventures. An action-adventure video game developed by Rare and published by Nintendo, originally intended for the Nintendo 64. Shigeru Miyamoto convinced Rare to redesign the game to be both a part of the Star Fox series and a launch title for the GameCube. The game was released on September 23rd, 2002, and was the only game that Rare ever made for the GameCube, as well as the final game that Rare developed for a home Nintendo console before they were acquired by Microsoft. And the game's story takes place 8 years after the events of Star Fox 64. Now, were you aware of that? This was never supposed to be a Star Fox game?
No, actually, I wasn't actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does it make sense considering the content?
It does make sense, yeah.
Yeah,
definitely. Obviously, it's a major change too from obviously being the flying game.
Yeah, way from Lilac Wars and Star Fox
Yes,
64.
course, yeah.
Crazy.
Yep.
So as always, things we like, things we didn't like, and favourite scenes, moments, bits of music. Okay, so things we liked. It's a pretty game. The location and characters look great. When I think of Star Fox Adventures, I almost always think of the Thorntail Hollow first. The grass, the green. It's just a pretty place to look at. I think of the music, I think of the style, I think of the dinosaurs, and I think of like the Iceland. I can't remember what that place, the Moon Mountain Pass is another one.
Yep.
It's a very pretty game. Then you think of Fox as well and how his fur looks. You know what I mean? I think it's certainly one that uses the capabilities of the GameCube to the best, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a typical Rare game. You know, literally, it's beautiful, it's colourful, the dialogue is fantastic. You know,
Yeah.
The animation is brilliant, and I mean, I've done before I've done my review. I read up literally everyone says the same thing. The creation is beautiful. I mean, even down to the detail, like I said, a fox's fur.
Yep.
You know, it just looks so real.
It does.
You know?
It does. You're absolutely right. There's an obvious one. Star Fox mixed with Legend of Zelda gameplay. What's not to like about that? It has its own criticisms, and we'll get on to the dislike on that afterwards. But ultimately, as a fan of Star Fox, as a fan of Legend of Zelda style gameplay, and I put it together, I'm like, yeah, that's great. I enjoy that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's... Well, I was going to say it's virtually, literally Zelda and Star Fox. It's the same fighting. It's the same sort of style.
It's the same gameplay.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's pretty much is. Well, yeah. It's to say the same game, but obviously just different animations.
Yeah, we'll get onto specific ones after. So I have got a specific point where you're just going to go, that's unacceptable. How much you ripped it off. But there you go. But ultimately, as a fan of both, I'm not going to have much negative to say about it because I enjoy Star Fox's gameplay.
Yeah. So I mean. All the Star Foxes, I mean, from the flying games to, I mean, this one was a major difference, and I was surprised when it came out, you know, and said when I first played it, I was expecting to be flying ships and all that.
Well, you expected Lilac Wars, yeah.
I mean, obviously, there is a few scenes which is nice where they throw it in there, we can fly.
Yeah, when you're flying between the areas,
which is pretty cool, you know. But overall, I think it's different and it's good.
Yeah, the use of Prince Tricky. So he's a bit annoying in the game overall as a character, but however, he actually has benefit uses from digging stuff, from being used to collect stuff and all that. It's good to always have, if you're going to have a companion that they're used for something, it's good. I like that.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I mean, it's always good to have a sidekick in the game, you know, and he comes in handy.
Yeah. And finally, my last sort of thing I really like, great use of dinosaurs, and the planet is varied too. So the way the world is split up into different locations that are themed, very much like a Zelda game again, from like lava areas to ice worlds, and each one is kind of home to a certain set of dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And dinosaurs are certain types of dinosaurs are your enemies as well, where others are there to help and this and stuff like that. I think that's good. I think that's cool.
Yes, it's a very clever game, you know. The way it works things in.
It does make you go, because it was going to be called Dinosaur Planet originally.
Yeah.
What it would have been like as a game without Star Fox jammed in. Do you know what I mean? What kind of game would it have been? It's hard to even manage a picture, really. Was it going to be just a generic character? Was it basically going to be as a Legend of Zelda ripoff? Still, but instead of it being Star Fox related.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's possible. I mean, if you just chucked Link in there, then would have been any difference?
It would have been a weird deviation for Legend of Zelda, but it would have been like, oh, this is Legend of Zelda gameplay. Yeah. I recognise it.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you have anything else to add on the things you like?
There's not, like I said. I mean, it's no, that's about it.
Yeah. Okay, so straight away then, things we don't like. It rips off Zelda. Jesus Christ! From the style of gameplay to the temples and dungeons to the action that Fox makes when he picks something up. it's blatant and almost embarrassing how like much they basically sat and looked at Zelda and went, that. You know, when you're doing basic animations that Zelda do as well, from the opening of the chest, I'm sure it plays music as well, and then he holds it up like that.
Yep.
It's just like, come on, guys.
Yeah, that's one of my major dislikes.
Yeah.
Literally opening up any secret item, and it does the whole Link holding thing up, and then the music like of excitement or whatever, and then it's definitely a very, very bad rip-off.
Yeah, we might like the gameplay, but when it's so obviously like you've just ripped this off, and that's to say the companies that are involved, Rare and Nintendo, it's like these are your own properties, guys. Come on.
Talk about trying to save some money.
Yeah. Funny enough, you talked about this, but the Star Fox bits, the actual Star Fox bits, so your Lilac Wars flying bits, they're rubbish. They're rubbish and are no way challenging. They are literally just fly from one area of the planet to the other, and they're very short. They're no challenge at all. Trying to get all the rings is the most challenge you're going to get to try and deviate from it. That's it. That's all it is.
Yeah, I mean, considering that Star Fox is known for being a flying game, I thought they could have done a lot more with that.
Well, that's because I say it wasn't supposed to be a Star Fox game.
No, exactly.
So they end up jamming all this stuff in, and it just doesn't work.
No.
And then, like I said, you end up with this weird end boss as well, which is Andros, and it's a flying end boss battle like that. And it's like, it's so out of left field to what the rest of the game was.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And talking of which, overall, it's very easy. It's a very easy game.
Yeah, I mean, the temples are easy, the puzzles are easy. Like I said, the gameplay's easy, the fighting's easy, the flying's easy, and even the end boss is easy.
Backtracking isn't an issue because it's not a big enough world.
No.
Like it's not like a Majora's Mask or an Ocarina of Time where it's a bit more wider and you can't quite remember what was where. In Star Fox, it was never an issue. You know, you have a shopkeeper, you go buy most of your items from him.
Exactly.
You know, and last but not least, Crystal. Now, my issue with this is just how it's perceived, rightly so. You have Crystal, who is introduced as some sort of badass warrior, wearing very little, even though she's a fucking fox. I mean, what the hell is wrong with you, Rare and Nintendo?
Yep.
She's wearing, obviously, a skimpy, sexy outfit. She's thin. She's supposed to be pretty. You're supposed to be attracted to this female fox, basically. And she ends up becoming... What does she end up becoming? Damsel in distress.
Yep.
She's the opening hero, and then she's the damsel in distress to be rescued by Fox, which sucks.
Yeah, like you said, they make her out to be like some badass female fox, and then next thing you know, she gets kidnapped in a crystal, and you got to go
and you're Fox trying to rescue her or save this woman you don't know from bad. He finds her stuff, and like I said, the fact she's wearing very little, it's just an odd decision. Anything else?
No, it's about everything.
Favourite scenes, moments, bits of music. So I have 2. You got any specific?
Favourite scenes. Nothing really specific because I mean overall the game I really enjoyed the game overall. You know, so it's hard to pick out one moment. But like I said, apart from the nostalgia of the flying, you know, because obviously it brings back the memories of playing it on the N64.
Yeah.
You know, obviously there wasn't enough of it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. We will cover Star Fox 64 in the future and actually properly get into the depth of an actually good Star Fox game.
Fantastic game. Yeah.
But you know, all right, the Andros reveal. While it's not a good end boss, it's still a cool reveal. When the temple face, whatever that thing is, turns around as Andros, it's kind of like, okay, cool.
Yeah, admittedly, with the Andros. I actually thought at some point that Andros wasn't going to be in it. So
why would you? Why would you presume it? I presumed it was just related to that, whatever that lizard man is, and then it was going to be save the planet.
I don't know, just because it was the boss in 64. So
yeah, but like I keep coming back to, even though you may not have known it wasn't supposed to be a Star Fox game, everything about it screamed it wasn't supposed to be a Star Fox game.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything did.
So then it would have made sense if it was a different bad guy at the end of it.
Okay, so it's been a while in these flashbacks since we've actually had a moment to talk about music, but I'm gonna do it. I actually have a favourite piece of music. In fact, it's 3 almost, and I'll put all 3 in the video. The Thorntail Hollow music. Now, on YouTube, you can find them split apart like this, as you should. But basically, it's got a day and night cycle, the game. And it's a very quick day and night cycle, which is a nice touch. But the music reflects that. So you have early day, night, and in particular, the one I like the most is the daytime piece of music that plays in Thorntail Hollow.
Yeah, definitely.
It's lovely and relaxing. Nice music for the opening, starting area where there's not too much in the way of villains. There are some other great stuff like the Moon Pass has some really eerie kind of music.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, early day, night, and in particular day. They're the ones when I think of Star Fox Adventures. The day track that I'm thinking of, and then you hear it in your head, is the one that I almost always think of straight away.
Yeah.
Dun 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 dun. You know that part? Yeah, that's it. So I think it's great. I think that's a lovely piece of music.
Yeah, I mean, for Rare's final game with Nintendo, I believe it was.
Yep.
Yeah, so it was a nice ending, I think. You know, but it's sad for them to obviously break away from Nintendo. But it was a
it got bought by Microsoft.
Well, yeah, exactly. And look at them now.
See, right, we're not going to go on too far this, but I will say one thing, right? As much as I'm like everybody else, I do like people to remember this important thing, which is Rare's just the name of the company. If the people are no longer part of the company, it's the people that made those classic games.
Oh, yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
It's those people who are involved. So if they're not part of Rare, however, Rare did not just do... People go, oh, Rare did nothing but Connect games afterwards. We got Viva Pinata out of Rare, and I love Viva Pinata.
Yeah, I agree.
So
it's a good game.
There was a positive that came out of it.
True.
But we're not talking about... We'll do Viva Pinata in the future. Definitely, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
So there you go. There's a flashback of Star Fox Adventures. A much beloved game, but not above criticism. It's got a lot to be critiqued, as you heard.
Of course.
Yeah. Thank you for watching. Make sure you check out all the other content on YouTube. Check out our website, GBHBL.com. Head over to the social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We've got a podcast on SoundCloud. You can find us over on Patreon and Big Cartel as well. All GBHBL, that's all you need to put in. Very, very simple, where you can help us out, maybe pick up some merchandise. And of course, hit that like and subscribe button.